Usually, we don't know what we want,
Oh,
or we don't even know what our own definition of success is.
hi, this is Doreen. Welcome to Super with Cooper. Have you ever wondered what might be getting in the way of you achieving greater success in life and in career? Well, today I invited a life coach to speak with us and talk to us about what usually gets in the way of people finding success or achieving greater success, and also to tell us how we can discover our strengths and hone them to help us live more enabled and more empowered lives. Hi, Curly. How are you today?
Hi, Doreen. I'm good.
Could you please quickly introduce yourself to our viewers as well?
Hi, everyone. My name is Curly de Guzman. Actually, my real name is Christine. Curly is a nickname that I got as I was growing up. I am a life and career transformation coach. I know that's such a fancy title, but simply put, I am a coach. I walk with you. I work with individuals as well as groups or organizations.
My understanding is that you didn't start your career off as a life coach. And I'm guessing that this probably resonates with our viewers who probably maybe studied something else when they were in university, or they started a different kind of job and then ended up in an entirely different kind of profession or career.
Like what we recently discovered in LinkedIn, that we came from the same school.
Yes.
But that time I was in a different world. So I actually graduated with a degree in computer science, totally different from what I'm doing now. I worked in corporate for, I think, about 12 years. And my work in corporate was really a mix of, I did a little bit of the programming work to start, before I moved on to like more leadership roles, process related roles. I also got into doing trainings, and that's where I realized that I really enjoy working with people. One of the most significant um, points in my life was the first time that I saw Francis Kong speaking. So he came to do a workshop with us. And as I was watching him speak and listening to him, at the back of my mind, I said, oh, one day I want to be like him. Our company was going through a restructure. It was going through a restructure, and there was there were reductions that are being made in terms of the head count. I thought that because that time I was already married, I had a kid, and that was also the time that we just newly bought a house, right? Um, and I was thinking maybe this is the time for me to leave
Mhm.
and to explore. Actually, my plan then was also still to go back to corporate.
Okay.
So I just wanted to switch. I wanted to get into like a more people related, HR related field. Um, but as I was going through it, I also had a coach then to help me transition. And that was my very, very first encounter with a coach. And I got really curious. I took a coaching course, a coaching certification, um, and I was applying. I was applying for roles, but then I realized that all of these HR related roles, they don't seem to really meet what I was looking for, because I was also looking for flexibility. Yeah, that's when I thought, okay, maybe I have to go into consulting already. So yeah, I guess that's also what I would say as my biggest achievement so far, it's being able to make that transition to survive it. And I'd like to say also that I was able to thrive in it as well.
What do you think usually gets in the way of a Filipino professional's rise to success?
It's really that usually we don't know what we want,
Oh,
or we don't even know what our own definition of success is. Um, we like to look at our seatmates or we look at other people on social media and feel bad about ourselves because this person is successful or this person is more successful than us. But when I get to talk to them and ask them, so what do you really want? It's silence. It feels like, it's not something that we usually think about. What do you really want in your life? Maybe because in the past we're used to being told what we should do. I met some people, or I've coached some people who, they took this course because it's what their parents want for them, and it's as if that their parents have already assigned them, okay, this daughter will be a lawyer and this daughter will be a doctor and things like that. So yeah, we don't know what we want, and I see that also on social media, online, people asking, oh, what do I do to get promoted? What do I do to become successful? And then, of course, other people, all with good intentions, I'm sure, would say, like, oh, you have to get a master's degree, you have to do this, you have to do that. But let's take a step back and ask ourselves first, what is success for you? Does it mean having a big house? Does it mean, being paid a 6-digit paycheck every month? Or does it just mean, having enough money and being able to spend the weekends off, right?
Curly, what are some of the ways that professionals can understand, well, first of all, discover, and maybe also explore or grow and understand their strengths?
So there are many ways, this is part of knowing yourself. Well, one, you can take those assessments that are available. There are many personality assessments. We have the Strengths Finder for those who are familiar with that. I think that's one of the most popular. I do the DISC assessment. This is more of a behavioral assessment, but it also talks a bit about your behaviors, what are your tendencies, what you bring to the table. We have the Berkman assessment, we have the MBTI. You can take those, right? Just be careful when taking the free assessments online because we're not very sure if they're legit. Yeah, so that is, to me, like what I tell my clients, this is a bit of a shortcut. Right? This is a bit of a shortcut because you take the assessment and you get the result. Second, you can ask the people around you. And I know that this is one of the practices that's being done also when you get into branding yourself, when you want to put yourself out there. You ask people around you, what do you say am I good at? What do you say? Why would you come to me as a coach, or why would you come to me for these questions? So you can ask for feedback. That's another thing. Third thing, and this is not just because I am a coach, is also to talk to a coach. And I say this also coming from the point of view of being a client. So I also love being coached. As we say, it helps you see your blind spots.
Mhm.
There might be things that you're not aware of because you're in your little world, and sometimes it takes stepping out of that world or having someone else see that you are this way, or you're acting this way, or that you're good at it. Fourth, just developing that self-awareness. Maybe at the end of the day, having that gratitude list, writing on your journal. Usually these things, it depends what works for you, right? Doing meditation or just quiet time, it helps you realize also, okay, what did I do well today? Or what activity or what did I do today that energized me most, or which one did I find particularly stressful. So these are all the ways that can help us not just find out about our strengths, but get to know ourselves a little more better.
What are practical ways for every Filipino professional to be able to transform their lives for the best?
Define first what success means to you. After you define that, know yourself better, knowing your strengths, know what your interests are, know what works for you. And that, that's very important, especially whether you're finding a job or trying to reinvent your career or yourself. Because a lot of times, when we look for a job, we have the tendency to just think about our skills and our experiences, right? I'm good at this, therefore I will look for a job where I can apply this. And then you get good feedback about it, you are encouraged to do more of it. But at the end of the day, the bigger question is, are you actually interested in it? And then maybe third, it's also to know that in the transformation process, failure will always be part of it. And it's something that I had to learn the hard way. Because back in corporate, maybe because I was doing what I know I do best, I probably didn't know how it felt really to fail so badly. Well, of course, I made my mistakes, I had my failures, but it wasn't like those major failures. And that's one of the things that I'd say I learned really to embrace when I stepped into this new world of coaching and consulting.
Sometimes things don't make sense, but you can't keep it from making you into a better person and a stronger person. Any final words or insights that you could share with our Filipino professionals or other professionals who may not be from the Philippines for that matter, in terms of how they can grow their careers, how they can embrace their strengths, and how they can grow stronger from the different adversaries that they face in life?
I hate to sound like a broken record, but I will always go back to knowing yourself. There are many ways, like what you've talked about earlier. Know yourself, know what you want, know what you're capable of, know what you can do. Because for sure, even if there are a million coaches already out there, and for some people, they might think like, oh no, there's more competition. For me, I just believe that there is, you are a coach for someone and for some people. So whatever it is that you have, whatever unique qualities that you have, discover it, nurture it, and because someone out there needs it. Second, going back to what you were talking about on failure, just be friends. Be friends with failure. I've learned not to be so hard on myself, because when I became friends with failure, it also made me more courageous. Like, I would try more. I wouldn't, of course there would still be times when I would doubt or I would hesitate, but it made me more courageous to try to just keep going. So be friends with failure. And then last is just to enjoy the process. There's this saying that we hear, eyes on the prize. For me, it's eyes on the road. Because when you're always thinking about the prize, of course I know that's important. We should have the prize or the end goal at the back of our minds. But if we're always just thinking of that, sometimes it makes us impatient. It makes us think like, oh my God, are we there yet? What's taking so long? Why am I not getting this yet? We fail to appreciate and acknowledge, all the good things that are happening in the present. So enjoy the present, do your best, and you'll be surprised that you're getting closer and closer. Like what we talked about, it was once just that daydream, that thought, or that idea, and just because you were enjoying, you're surprised, hey, this is something that I had an idea about 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 1 month ago, and now it's happening.
Again, thank you for this time. I really appreciate having you on the vlog.
Thank you. I had fun, and I also learned a lot from you, Doreen.
Thank you, Curly. There is so much that each and every one of us can do to help ourselves achieve greater success in terms of life and career. And as we learned today, perhaps it all starts with defining what success truly means for us. And that's definitely something that we can get started on today. I'll catch you again next time.